My name is Rosemary Mpambwa. For those that don't know me, I'm a love coach and retreat leader. For those that are my pros, put hashtag pro, and those that are new, put hashtag new, and I will give you a huge shout out. Welcome. Today we are talking about the 16 signs to show that you have childhood trauma, or you have suffered some childhood trauma, or you have childhood wounds, and how they can affect your future relationships. We come together every week here on Tuesday inside the Finding True Love and Relationship Advice show. And today we are talking about this biggest culprit that seems to really affect your relationship even when you are not aware of it. So let's dive in. 16 signs to show that you suffer from childhood wounds or childhood trauma. These affect your future ability to create healthy relationships, and you need to take care of this before it's too late. You need to heal. A lot of people take it for granted. When I talk about healing, they are always thinking, oh, I'm not wounded, or I didn't suffer anything, I didn't go through any abuse. But there are things that happen to you when you were a child, and these have stuck in your subconscious mind. Your subconscious mind is like your reserve bank. It banks everything at the back of your mind. And this is how you create insecurities. This is also how you create self-limiting beliefs that will create havoc in your relationship, at work, in your personal relationship, in your business relationship. Even when you become a mother, it also affects your ability to be a mom, so that you can also coach or look after your children and give them the support and advice they expect from their mom. Right. Number one, you have loss of identity. You don't know who you are. And you are always that person that always has mob psychology. When you are in a crowd, you are always doing what the crowd is doing. But when you are asked, why are you even doing this? You have no idea, because you are just following the crowd. You don't have a backbone to say no to certain things that you know they are wrong, but because you want to belong to, a group of people, then you will continue to follow that because you don't know who you are. Number two, insecure attachment style. You have all these insecurities, and you really cannot even create your own friends. You are always destroying or sabotaging your friendship, because you don't know how to create your own friends. You are always anxious, and you are always avoidant, and you are always dismissive. When things are said to you, you are always dismissive about it. You are always fearful of things not happening to you or happening to you. So you are always disorganized somehow. It's called the fearful avoidant style. This type of attachment stems from fear, often caused by childhood abuse or neglect. And then the avoidant dismissive is also an avoidant dismissive um, behavior that is often seen as distant and emotionally unavailable. You go into relationships and you are always emotionally upset. And this always creates issues in the relationships because you cannot emotionally connect to your partner. You cannot even emotionally connect to your own children. You have deep feelings of anger. Number three, you are always angry. I'm sure you have seen some people that are always angry, they are always irritated or irritable. And you wonder, what's wrong with you? What have I done for you to be so irritated? It's also because of the issues that they are dealing with. You have problems. Number four, you have problems maintaining relationships, trust issues, and the fear of being hurt can make it difficult to form or even maintain healthy relationships after an abusive or neglectful relationship as a child, right? It could be any unaddressed issues or wounds that can make you incredibly difficult to create relationships. Growing as a child, you could have been left behind, or you felt like you were not given the attention that you deserve, or you were really fighting to be noticed every time. And when this happened, you always develop that not feeling valuable and not feeling good enough all the time. Number six, fear of abandonment, right? Fear of abandonment is always a culprit because you are going to be very clingy in the relationships because you're always fearful that people are going to leave you, just like your caregivers left you, your parents, or even your friends. This also stems for uh, when your parents get divorced and you always feel like you have caused it, or maybe one of the parents mentioned it to you that it was because of you uh, that we got divorced. So you will develop that fear of abandonment. Number seven, distrust. You cannot trust people. It's because growing up, you never saw people in people creating trust among them, or you never really trusted your caregivers because of the things that they promised they would do and they never did it. Childhood abuse, neglect, trauma can leave a person extremely distrustful. People don't keep their promises to you. And this also stems and creates issues in trust. For example, you may not be willing to open up to friends or even to your partner because you are afraid they will use those vulnerabilities against you. Or you may take all the responsibilities in your relationships because you don't trust your partner or uh, your husband or your family members. This also happens even when you start a business. You cannot delegate because you always think people are not going to be doing the job to your satisfaction. Nobody is better than you, and you find yourself overwhelmed with tasks because you don't trust anybody else to do it for you. Right. The other one is setting boundaries. You cannot set boundaries because you are always thinking, well, if I set boundaries, then nobody is going to like you or nobody is going to love you. But you know what? Boundaries are there to protect you from the abusers. Boundaries are also there to protect the abusers from you because you could also turn into an abuser or somebody who is taking advantage of other people. So setting boundaries is also another element that can also create issues in your relationships because sometimes you are just going with the crowd, mob psychology, because you yourself cannot say no or cannot create boundaries in your relationships. Right. The other one is unwillingness to ask for help. Growing up, you might have been neglected as a child, and you always asked for help, and the people never really gave you that help that you deserved. And after that, you think, if I ask for help, then either people are going to laugh at me, or people are also going to use that against me, thinking that I'm weak, I don't know what I want in the relationships, and the things like that. Right. For example, even when you are incredibly stressed out at work, you will never open up to ask for help, because you're always thinking, if I say that, then people are going to see me as a weak person. Right. The other one is avoidance of intimacy. Hmm. This is huge, because this is going to affect your romantic relationships. Because if you cannot create any intimacy with your partner, then what's the use of having that relationship? That guy is not going to continue hanging around you, because you cannot create that intimacy between the two of you. When I talk about intimacy, it's not just about sex, it's about the deep connection that you have with your partner. So if you cannot create that, because you are building this steel wall around yourself, trying to protect yourself. Yes, protecting yourself is okay, but it will come to a point where it's going to damage your relationships. It also comes with a price tag. So be careful how you protect yourself, or protect your heart from further injuries or further heartbreaks from future relationships, because this is also a huge culprit in damaging your future romantic relationships. Another one is physical health issues. Right. Unfortunately, childhood trauma can leave you with a variety of chronic health illness and recurring physical health issues. Things like headaches, stomach aches, eating disorders are very common to people who have experienced childhood traumas. The other one also is sleep disorders. You have seen people that have insomnia, and they've grown up with this. It's also because of things that they went through when they were sleeping. They were probably physically abused, sexually abused, or emotionally abused when they were sleeping, and they were having nightmares, dreaming about all these things. And as a result, they are scared to go to sleep. And when they do that, then you have created all these physical recurring health issues that will affect you for the rest of your life. Right. The last one is mental health. Mental health. This is huge. I'm sure this is self explanatory. Mental health will come in different forms: depression, PTSD, OCD, and all the other mental health issues that can emanate from the childhood trauma wounds. So, this is all that I had for you today. And if you want more information on this, please send me a DM so that I can send you the whole document with the full details on how you can heal from this, because these are also culprits for setting you in trouble when you want to create long-term relationships. I hope you had I hope you learned something from this and you got value from this. So, as you are looking for love, I hope you will take some time to listen again to this video. Share it with your friends so that they can also learn on how these childhood wounds can create havoc in your future relationships. See you again next week when we have another exciting topic. So thank you for now and have a good week. Bye bye.